good morning, grumpy Brits in the Philippines here. Oh, I'm grumpy this morning, wasn't I? If you've gone over and had a look at the original channel, the main channel, British Expat in the Philippines, you would have seen me responding to our famous friend, the worthless American, who spends his time bar hopping and calling his life our Philippine journey. And yet, most of the time, he's either bar hopping or having breakfast at some restaurant every morning. Wow, the good life, transferred from America to Angeles City. My goodness, what a pointless exercise, that guy. You know, he's suffering from all kinds of ailments. He's been pretty sick, he's been near death, and yet he's still got time to look for a few clicks from yours truly. I'm an illusionist, I'm delusional. I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm an old bugger. Not that much older than he is. The only difference is I haven't run a gentleman's club. For gentlemen only, no women allowed to apply. Oh dear. Isn't it funny how we can try and whitewash our lives to suit our new beginning in another country? You know, I was a self-taught carpenter builder. I worked hard all my life to learn as much as I could, and I believe I know just as much, if not more, than those that went to trade school, sat there all day learning how to cut a piece of wood square. These days, you know, it's a dying trade to find, like you used to in the early days, the early 60s, 50s, 60s. Jones and Son, they used to put on the put a hanging spider. Never mind. They used to have, and then there was a refreshing sign, Jones and Daughter, maybe plumbing service or decorating company, painters. But whatever it was father to son, son to daughter, daughter to son, or whatever. It passed down in the family. It was a trade. It was like being a cobbler or a seamstress or something like that. Whereas today, even now, we communicate with each other by text message. We've forgotten how to talk. We can spin, but we don't know really how to talk. And it's always interesting when I get to talk to some straightforward, straight-shooting Americans who I often spend quite a few moments talking online to them. And it's interesting to get their pitch on what's going on around them. Of course, not all Americans, not all Australians or English choose to have a YouTube channel. Only us poor ones, apparently. Oh dear. If only they could get off their horse and realise it's fun to make money, talking, coming up with ideas and putting them out there to the world for their perusal, for their judgment or their spin on the idea. Because that's how you get to know what's going on around you. If you want to live in France, you don't want to live, if you want to go and do what you do in England all the time, DIY, do your home up, build it up, make it more valuable, sell it, capital gains, transfer into the next property. Then if you're going to do it in France, you've got to know the law, first of all. You've got to know the taxes, first of all. You've got to know the system, first of all. Because to do so in France, you need to be an artisan. You need to employ artisans. You can do a certain amount of work yourself, but the majority of the work has to be done by an artisan. In other words, a local tradesperson. Why? Why, you say? Because it's not taking jobs away from those in the community. And so many foreigners who come to France with the idea of buying an old barn and turning it into a modern cottage for weekenders or a B&B. They get a big surprise when they suddenly start getting taxed because it's a empty rental property. So it's assessed on the potential earnings, not just the earnings that they physically make when you put a tax return in. Yes, a tax return in another country. How many people buy properties here and put tax returns in for the properties that they choose to rent out, whether you're a foreigner or not? If you buy a property for a woman and you allow her to rent it out, then you're asking her to pay taxes on it after you're gone. Have you thought about that? You thought about your bright spark ideas to ensure her ongoing security in life? Sure, having a piece of land that she can grow something on, that she can harvest a crop, is a great idea. You won't find land any cheaper than it is today. Tomorrow it'll be more, you can guarantee. And also remember that if you go along to buy it, you go along and you look at it in the dark or in the evening when nobody else is around except your wife or your girlfriend. You come to a conclusion that that's what she wants. Don't force her into buying it. Just make sure that there's a dream there that she can achieve. It might be capital gain, but whatever it is, you're buying it for her. The minute the money leaves your bank, out of your wallet, and goes to buy anything, you've lost it. You've gone. It's disappeared. Scooter? No, you can own it yourself. Car? You can own it yourself. But don't buy it with her in mind, because if you buy it with her in mind, she's entitled to half of it. So if you buy it in your name and it's not anything to do with your matrimonial land or property or assets, that's fine. But after you're married to her, down the middle, guys, land 100% hers. So don't listen to all this rubbish about this person did this and that person did that. They're talking a load of puñata, which is a word meaning bullshit. And, you know, it is hard to have content when you're, in effect, highlighting some of the issues that you, as a foreigner, may come up with, because you're bound to be misinterpreted by a foreign person, that is, a Filipino. I've spoken to Filipinos who thought my videos were aimed at I didn't like Filipinos. Really? It takes a while to get it through. It took me probably 10-15 minutes to get it through to them that no, I have no problem with Filipinos. But Filipinos often have problems with Filipinos and foreigners. And it's a good idea that that's why they watch my channel. And once you explain it to them, and you maybe have somebody who has a better understanding of English, who can express it in their language to them, like an interpreter, then they laugh at it. Then they realize where you're coming from. But don't always assume that they always know what you're doing. And don't always assume that Mike from our Philippine journey is the oracle of all knowledge. After all, he used to lie in bed with Mikey, and we all know what happened to Mikey. Oh, sorry, he took his channel down and threw 25,000 American dollars a year away. Of course he did. Pigs will fly, won't they? You have a lovely Sunday. You enjoy your Sunday morning if you're hearing this or watching this in the Philippines. Now, next week, there's exciting things on both the channels. And I want you to tell everybody about them, because this man is let out of jail. Oh my God, I'm stuck in my house. Yes, I'm let out of jail. I got hold of the key and I found my way out. Don't tell anyone. I'm going to Manila, and I'm going to look at some of the hot spots, interesting spots, and maybe not so interesting, but I'm going to be there maybe 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, and I'm going to see as much as I can, and I'm going to report from around there. But I'm not going to Angeles City. Why? No interest in walking down an unfinished road with a whole load of Americans who have no hope except lots of money to spend on bar fines and girly bars and breakfasts at 8 o'clock and living in high-rise apartments like in ivory towers. You know what ivory towers means? Sorry, this is a lesson for the less well-educated American. Living in ivory towers means you're in a bubble. You don't know really what life is like down there. Get amongst the people. Not prostitutes. Talking to bar girls is not getting to know the people. It's getting to know the sad stories of working girls. And certain groups of people, especially those that have had gentlemen's clubs and topless bars. My goodness, a good Christian man. I have topless bars and gentlemen's clubs. I see him every Sunday worshipping false idols. Have a great day. Bye now.